seed beads are so tiny. A real easy way to decorate your pendant stones is to add little teeny tiny seed beads threaded into the normal wrapping. And it doesn't have to be fancy or wild or like super extravagant. Just put some in and see where they fit and feel like they're adding some accents and have some fun. So we put some little accents here and there among the swirls in the previous videos. This time we're going to make an entire strand coming up. We're going to use two different ways to do this. So start with the easier one, I think, which is if you find a barrel bead. This is called a barrel bead. These are both drilled straight through. You don't have to have a pendant stone drilled straight through, but for this method, it makes it a lot easier. This is a really gorgeous, I think it's Picasso jasper. It was gifted to me. And first test to make sure the wire fits the hole going through your stone, and then make sure it fits the seed beads you choose, and then just have fun. I try to pick beads that complement the stone and kind of pop, but don't look so jarringly weird that they just feel off. Like this is very earth tony, so these are very earth tone seed beads, and there's different sizes and colors, mostly tans and browns, going all the way up to 4 millimeters. I think these all came on a single strand from the art store. But in any case, I'm going to use anti-copper coated wire for this. And I don't even think I'm going to take a lot. Probably, this is super easy. I'm just going to take like a little more than a foot, like 1/3 of a meter, right? And I haven't even practiced this first, so hopefully this works. Sorry, I was rubbing some Sharpie with that finger. Okay, so easiest thing ever. Just get it to about the middle of the wire, crimp both sides like that, make a loop at the top. That's going to be like your bail. Give it a twist, lock it in, 180. Okay. And now just start stringing the beads on and then just wrap them around diagonal and you're done. You can do the same with this one, or you can just have one going around. It really doesn't matter. I think I'm going to do this one just wire with no beads, right? Because that'll be fun. So I'm just going to wrap this one around till I get to the bottom. Then I'm going to twist these to kind of lock that there. And then I'm going to come up with this one, and I want them all to wrap the same way. So this way they would actually be crossing if I kept going like that, but I don't want them to cross. I want them to go the same way. So I'm going to do this cool thing where I curve it like that and then start wrapping it the same way, following parallel to the other one. But let's throw some beads on there. I was going to add the larger beads in to give variation, but this looks just so cute and nice. I don't want to mess it up. Let me show you. This is how much bigger one of the larger beads would be. And see, it would be okay, but I feel like this pattern just looks really nice, and I'm just going to continue it all the way around. So, fun times. And we'll just carefully bend this around. Pushing all the beads tight. And then we just scarf this around the top loop. Don't go all the way up because you want to leave room for the other wire that's coming to get scarfed. Just cut that off halfway up. And we'll tuck it in. Now this next wire that's left, we'll just also let it follow the same pattern, and it can be decorative. You can do loops, or you can just keep it simple and have it follow the other one, just make it like a double strand. But I have some room, so I'm going to make some cute little loops right here. Just pull them tight against the stone, and now we'll follow it up, and there's room right there for another loop. Put another one right there. Press it tight against the stone. And check everything. Check all the way around. Make sure everything's where you want it to be. Make sure it's tight. The bead should be pretty tight against the stone at this point. You can make several loops if you want. You can be really crazy. It's up to you. I'm going to make one more, tiny one, and then end it. Quit while I'm ahead. And I'm going to finish scarfing it. Stack up the wraps a little higher. And cut off that end just like the other one. Tuck in the little sharp end, and you're done. No matter which way. Now you can play with this a little bit, kind of bend it where you want it to be. But there you go. Now, no matter which way this turns, it's going to look interesting. You can just put your cord right through there, or you can add a jump ring. Oops, that needs to be tucked a little bit. Tuck that deep. We'll do something similar with this flat rectangular mother of pearl shell drilled straight through and dyed to look kind of like tiger's eye. This time we'll use vintage bronze, another dark earth tone, which is nice with these colors. We'll take a little bit more this time, but not too much, because we want to do a few little swirls. Maybe we'll take 2 whole feet, like 2/3 of a meter. Just put it through to the middle. Put the stone in the middle of the wire. Put the 2 strands together so that we know where the middle is. And again, we'll do a crimp, make our loop at the top, fold it over 180, and I'm going to mimic what the actual curve with the seed beads is going to be. So this strand is going to hold the seed beads, and I'm just going to have it come up like an S. So I'm folding it. If you want to make nice arcs, nice smooth curves, pull the wire from far back like that, and it curves it nice and smooth. And always if you're going back and forth, always overdo the curve, because then when you come back, it makes it nice and smooth. So that's where all the seed beads are going to go on here. I'm going to stretch that out a little bit, and then I'm going to have it coming like that. So now I can decorate the rest of the piece with this piece of wire. So I'm going to put a loop here. And I want to put a larger, kind of a double loop down here. So I'll just make a small loop again, and then I'll come around twice with it. That's another way to do it. Like that. And then I could come right up the back, which would be fine. But I want to lock it in. So I'm going to pull it through here. Hold everything tight, pull real tight. Make sure that's, because sometimes you got to feed it. If it was a thin wire, you could just pull it, but it's 20 gauge, you want to kind of feed it. And once it's as tight as I'm happy with it, I'm going to feed it a little more, pull it little bits at a time, stretch it out, straighten it out, and then roll it, pull it, roll it, pull it. That'll get it nice and tight in there. And then when I'm happy with how tight it is, I'm going to, I can do a couple different things here. It's nice having these flat pieces are so easy to wrap. The wire just grabs onto it so easily. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come around this corner like this. Get a nice curve there. I'm going to come around that corner like that. And then I'm going to come across here really tight and come up this side and do another decorative thing. I think I'm going to do another teeny tiny loop and then make it a double. It's kind of like a heart at that point. You could make it into a little heart if you wanted. All right, now remember this is going to be a little fatter, filled up with beads, so you don't want to get the wires too close. But now I'm happy. I'm going to have it follow that same curve and move this out of the way for a minute, and I'm going to scarf it to end it. Nice, everything is tight, everything's in place. I'm only going to go up a few times and then end it because I want to leave room for the other wire. Cut it off right here. Leave a little tip so I can tuck it in. Tuck it deep into the bowl I just made right there, boom. Now this side is ready to do the seed beads. Let's pick a pretty pattern, colors we have. Again, we want them to pop a little bit, but we don't want them to be like weird and, you know, earth tones. I wouldn't mix with like bright pinks and purples. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but something that's going to complement the earth tone. I'm going to mostly use the same colors I used for this one, just because of all the seed beads I have, this pattern just seems to go well with this one too. So let's string them on. If the seed beads are so tight, they're barely getting around the curve, you can stretch it. Stretch your wire back out straight again just to get the beads where you need them to be, and then redo the curve. Sometimes spinning them and wiggling them helps get them down. And scarf the final wire around until I like to go halfway up. Then do the same thing, cut this sharp end and tuck it in. And boom. I'm going to add some jump rings again and then maybe a nice cord.